In our first story, more than 700 children with special needs in Kumasi, they are to receive charity support under an initiative to bring relief to the vulnerable. An NGO based in Kumasi, Pregnancy Stress Foundation, has enrolled these children on the health insurance scheme and will also pay for their medical bills as well as for others. Love FM's Kwesi Debra has more on this intervention.
Charity Aboa sells banana. Her son, Jonathan Boateng, is 6, but he looks like a 2-year-old. He has cerebral palsy, which impedes both physical and emotional development. Jonathan is always by his mother's side.
I'm
always holding him, she says. Because of his condition, I've stopped working in order to keep an eye on him. The children are mostly at Bompata, Fantinu Town, and Asim suburbs of Kumasi. The program is in its 4th year, having given hope to over 1,000 children over the period. Victoria Dakon is project director.
It's the PSF Ghana, women and children, they are our priority. And there are different projects that we do to support them. We have noticed that though we are doing a lot of announcements here and there, people are not really hearing what we want to drum home about. That is the reason why we have decided to go to the people in the communities.
Health insurance registration is at the heart of the social support scheme.
We decided to bring in the National Health Insurance Scheme because we noticed that most of the parents who come to our offices to register their children who are sick and vulnerable, they do not have national health insurance. Even the 8 cities that they are paying for the children to get the card is very difficult for them. So PSF Ghana decided that we are going to bear the cost of their insurance and then we will register them.
Asim Hene, Nanampo Fucheba for admonish parents to desist from abandoning sick children. The parents, especially fathers, shouldn't desert their sick children. They can be better citizens in the future. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
And the recent arrest of a pastor in Kumasi on the orders of the Ashanti regional minister over the nuisance caused by his congregation has got many victims of noise pollution talking about the phenomenon and the role of the Environmental Protection Agency in curbing the phenomenon. Well, Simon Osemensa stormed the Bethel Ministries Watch Night service over the weekend in the company of the police and ordered its head pastor's arrest, claiming that the church was making too much noise. The pastor has since been released and the police say the issue is being investigated. But the EPA says incidents involving churches stopped the complaints filed by citizens. Public Relations Officer Angelina Tutuamensa concedes the authority has not been able to adequately address all these complaints and as a result advise citizens that one of the options available to them is causing the arrest of noise pollutants.
What you can do if someone is creating noise and it's unbearable, the first thing, have a friendly chat. And I know it doesn't work anyway. But then you write to the Environmental Protection Agency or the Assembly, copy to the police that this is the situation. You state the hours the person creates that noise. You bring it to the Environmental Protection Agency or the Assembly. You need to state a landmark where the incident has been happening. And when it does happen, the Environmental Protection Agency or the Assembly will then come and set up a noise monitor for a week. If it's in the night, it will actually set the noise monitor at the point of the noise and monitor the decibels. And so after a period, there's a calculation they do. Then they write to whoever is creating that noise to stop. If the person does not, then they give the person enforcement notice. Sometimes it becomes a court issue. So basically, this is the procedure that one has to go through.
So if I don't have any monitor, can I go to a noisemaker and then arrest a person? Someone playing loud music at church?
Yeah, the Constitution gives you the power to have a citizen's arrest. And so not just arrest, but you need to be very careful because the person might be dangerous. But then everyone has that mandate to have a citizen's arrest. Yeah. We have a lot of complaints on noise. It exceeds all the complaints that we get. Noise is the highest complaint that the Environmental Protection Agency gets each year. See, the noise monitors is one per region, and they are very expensive, they are very sensitive. So sometimes we do a lot of arbitration before, we can go out there and say we are monitoring. But in most cases, we've been able to solve it and giving people that comfort. But I must say that our officers have also gone through some gruesome experiences. Some homes have unleashed dogs on them. Some of them have been suspected as armed robbers. It comes with the risk.
In other news, government has set itself the first quarter of next year to clear its outstanding debt to the energy sector. The debt, currently estimated at about 10 billion Ghana cedis, has been blamed for the many challenges plaguing the country's banking sector, with fears that some of the banks could collapse under the weight of government's indebtedness. Speaking at the inauguration of the governing board of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, assured the energy sector bond issued recently forms part of a long-term strategy to address the issue.
Government over the last 10 months has ensured that the supply and distribution of electricity have improved. We have successfully issued 4.7 billion Ghana cedis in 7- and 10-year bonds to settle a portion of the 10 billion Ghana cedi debt overhang we inherited in the energy sector. It is our anticipation that the remainder of this debt will be settled by the end of the first quarter of 2018. This initiative is extremely important in resolving some of the liquidity challenges faced by the banks and will enable more investments to be attracted into the sector, all with the goal of reducing the cost of energy.
And still at the presidency, the prime ministers of Italy and the Netherlands, as well as the president of Estonia and France, are due in Ghana this week, with illegal migration and youth unemployment set to dominate discussions on the agenda. The Director of Communications at the presidency, Eugene Ahin, tells presidential correspondent Elton Brobe that the visit demonstrates Ghana's standing amongst the Committee of Nations.
It's a pretty tight schedule. We have the Prime Minister of Italy coming in tomorrow. We have the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, who is due to be here on Wednesday. We have the Estonian President coming in as well. We have the French President coming in on the 30th. So it's a pretty hectic schedule. But tomorrow, the Prime Minister of Italy would call on the President at the presidency. The two would hold bilateral discussions on how to strengthen the ties of cooperation and the bonds of friendship that exist between the two countries, and basically find other ways by which, or explore other ways through which the two countries can cooperate. So that's basically for the meeting with the Prime Minister of Italy. And subsequently on Wednesday, we have the Dutch Prime Minister coming into town. We have the Estonian President, as I said, coming on Thursday. And then all of them coming to hold bilateral talks with the President here. Basically, at least it's, to me, I see it as a sign of the confidence the world has in our President. At least in the last 11 months, they've all seen the kind of progress Ghana has made. I mean, compared to the numbers we had when we took over in on the 7th of January 2017, compared to the work he's done now, I believe it's an appreciation of the fact that, and a recognition of the fact that they see at least Ghana is moving up. Yes, there's this 5th AU-EU summit. It's something that happens on a yearly basis. This year's edition will be the 5th, and it's being held in La Côte d'Ivoire, God willing, on I think from Tuesday to Thursday. So the President will be in Côte d'Ivoire from Tuesday to Thursday, and then he arrives in Ghana on Thursday for the meeting with Macron, as well as for the meeting with the Dutch Prime Minister and the Estonian President as well. Well, if it comes up, yeah, definitely it's something that would come, because almost every illegal migrant that leaves the shores of our continent for Europe lands up at Lampedusa in Italy. So definitely, I'm sure it will be an issue. But as you said, the president has made it clear that in as much as we would want to halt the illegal migration of our youth, either those who trek the Sahara or even those who want to use the Mediterranean, it's something we have to do. We have to make sure that we improve the conditions of living here, we transform the structures of our economy. It's the only way we can create wealth and prosperity for our people. And even if definitely there are still people who, whether you like it or not, who would still want to make their living elsewhere. If they go to such countries, at least they should be treated with dignity. I'm sure that's something that would come up for discussion between the two leaders.
Reporting for JoyNews from the Flagstaff House, Elton Brobe.
The closure of two bridges in Yape and Bupe in the northern regions could cause the prices of some foodstuff to go up in Accra, with implications for how much you get to pay for your lunch. Agricultural Market Information Service provider, ISOCO, explains that the closure of the Bupe and Yape bridges could have a direct bearing, as it is likely to increase the cost of transportation also. Already, some onion sellers at the Agbogbloshie market here in Accra are said to have increased their prices, with the vice chairman of the Greater Accra Onion Sellers Association, Salisu Masood, arguing that truck drivers are spending a lot more on fuel. Some of the drivers also complained about the terrible nature of alternative routes. JoyNews' Maxwell Agbagba has more.
The closure of the Bupe and Yape bridges has already taken a toll on the transportation of food items such as onions and yams here at this market. We are told that the price of a bag of onion has actually shot up from 200 Ghana cedis to 220 Ghana cedis.
For a week ago, onion hasn't been coming. There isn't much supply of onion. So due to that, I mean, price has increased. It has gone up a little bit. I don't know whether it's because of the dam that was broken. So there hasn't been much. Yeah, so there hasn't been much cars coming, onion cars coming. So the price has increased. It has gone up for a while. And previously we sell it 200 Ghana cedi for a bag of onion.
Okay.
Yeah, for a bag. But for now, it has gone up more than that.
Like how much are you selling?
Now it is 220.
Well, some of the people I've been interacting with here at the onion market tell me that they are sometimes made to pay bribes before they are made to cross the bridge which has been closed down. I'm here to meet the vice chairman of the Greater Accra Onion Sellers Association, Salisu Masood, to find out from him whether these allegations have come to his attention.
One thing is, when they've closed Yape Road, everybody knows that they closed Yape. Though, but nobody should stand there, collect bribe for the drivers to enter those roads. But if the drivers will pay bribe, they will enter inside. If they enter inside, then they will arrest the driver again. How do you manage?
They open the bridge for them?
Yes, they open the bridge for them. Instead of the bridge has been closed. The Yape road, not the Bupe. The Bupe one has damage already. But the Yape one, they can pass through the Yape, they will get some route. They pay 1 million, that's 100 Ghana cedis, for them to pass on the bridge. But if they pass on the bridge, they will be arrested again. How do you manage to pass the bridge? So those people are those people standing there collecting the bribe, who told them to stand there? Who told them to stand there? So it creates a lot of trouble over there.
Some of the drivers here are complaining bitterly that they've been compelled to use different routes to get to their destination. One of them, Mohammed Yusuf, tells me a journey that usually takes 2 days now takes 4 days.
From Ajasikan to Timpoko here, it's not good at all. It is far, but you know that now like this, the roadway, every day you are passing, you know that road simple past this one. But this one there is photos, and there is some place who rain. If the rain fall like this, the water day inside. If you enter your car or down or go touch the down before you can be removed inside the water. That day we can feel, if you are Tamale, if you are Kulgungu border, you can feel take 2 days and come Accra here. But this road here, unless 4 days.
And we'll bring you a lot more on this story when we're having discussions on the show. So please make sure that you stay tuned. But before we go, members of the Upper West branch of the Police Wives Association, POLWA, are appealing to the police administration to take a serious look at the accommodation challenges faced by their husbands, of course, who are the police in the region. And this is due to concerns about inadequate accommodation. As a result, very few personnel have been allocated rooms in their barracks. Even the few that have accommodation are crowded with no space to put some valuable items. Speaking at the 30th anniversary celebration of the association, the vice chairperson of the association, Hajia Hussein Aisha, said the situation makes it difficult for the monitoring of personnel and their families. Rafiq Salam now reports from Wa.
Police Wives Association Polwa was formed 30 years ago with the objectives of solving disputes between police wives and their husbands in the service. It is to instill discipline and cleanliness at the police barracks. It is also to promote a spirit of communication among police wives and their husbands on one hand and the police administration on the other. This year's anniversary celebration is held on the theme Empowering Wives to support their husbands to succeed at work. Upper West Regional Vice Chairperson of Polwa, Hajia Hussein Aisa, noted that since the formation of the association, it has helped reduce drastically squabbles and bickerings among police wives and their families. Hajia Hussein, however, has some concerns which she will want the police administration to look into. Key among them is the inadequate accommodation facilities for personnel in the region, leading to overcrowding at barracks and allowing personnel to stay at one station for over 10 years without a transfer.
Police personnel are known to be housed either in barracks or rented quarters. This provides security for our members and our husbands. However, the capacity of police barracks in the region is so limited that a few personnel are accommodated in them, with large number scattered all over the region. This makes it difficult for regular monitoring of personnel and their families. Our plea is that the police administration should build more barracks for personnel or acquire rented quarters to house them. It appears that personnel posted to the Upper West region are forgotten by the police administration. There are some members of POWA who have been in the region between 10 and 20 years. This trend has negatively affected such personnel and their families. We would be very grateful of personnel posted to the region are transferred within 5 years, as we have been made to believe.
Deputy Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Edward Oduokwatan, admonished wives for police officers to continue to offer the needed emotional and psychological support to their husbands as a way of boosting their morale to maintain law and order.
My fellow men, please do not underrate the strength of our wives, both spiritually and materially. And remember that whatever negative things that happen to you affect our wives and children.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
And that's it for the latest news headlines. We'll do a review of the newspapers. Then we'll also look at stories published on the various online portals. Please, you can get interactive. We're streaming live currently on our YouTube channel, Major Online TV. Please go there. Let us know what you think about what you're watching so far. Give us some messages also on Facebook. JoyNews on TV is our page on Facebook. But right now, we leave you with this. And this one is Agbo from EL. We hope that you enjoy it. When we come back, we'll be looking at some of the newspapers in the studio. Please, we'll be right back.